Gene Munster, iconic at Piper Jaffray at Deepwater here on Tesla. Gene, you called it, which is a pause here to refresh. What's the character of the pause here for Tesla down 6% in this set of headlines?
So it was a soft number, and so think about this as being sub. I was talking about being down 2% to being flattish. But in this case, we've got like a 40,000 unit miss relative to expectations. So I would put this in the category of a surprising, borderline unprecedented miss when it comes to deliveries.
So Gene, what do you think is going on here if you had to read through?
I think it's a combination of what's happened with interest rates. I think just the broader EV market has slowed, and Tesla being all EVs, I think has had a profound impact. There probably was, over the last couple of years, a pull forward of demand as kind of some of the excitement around EVs, maybe people years out who maybe would have thought about buying a car once every 5 years, decided to get one at 3 years and kind of pulled some of that demand forward. So I think that this is, it's pretty clear as EVs are in a slow period right now, and this is worse than what I would have expected.
Yep.
And I think the question comes down to is this a temporary pause? Is it going to be 2-3 quarters, or is it going to last longer?
Hey, Gene, if Matt Miller were here, he would probably ask this question, which is, when does Tesla really need a redo on the design of the car? We need a new version. I mean, it seems like the big auto comes out with a new version every 4, 5, 6 years. We haven't had that from Tesla.
Well, the Model Y is due for an update, and we'll likely get one in the next year. The Model 3 just had one in the last couple months, and that makes these numbers even worse because you just had this update to Model 3. And so, yes, they do not do the typical annual updates, but the vast majority, 90+% of their sales right now are Model Y and Model 3. And so it is more susceptible to, these model changes. So I think that the big picture is around this is just relative to the appetite for EVs from consumers. And we've seen it, especially in the U.S., that has slowed. And so I think that that's having a bigger impact than any sort of revisions to the model.
If you're just joining us around the world, in Shanghai, where they manufacture Teslas, Gene Munster with us after disappointing numbers. Tesla just breaches a 163, down 7% here. Gene Munster, is there a stock price that Mr. Musk has his eye on? You know, I can get the chart up here right now, but Gene, is there an important stock price for you where the optionality for Elon Musk changes from 400 down, we go to 175, now 162. How far down do the facts change for Elon Musk?
So just in terms of valuation, where it's currently trading, the down 7%, it's trading roughly 40 times 2025 earnings. And so if we want to put a point of where it's going to trade in line with, let's say, NVIDIA, for example, or Microsoft, you'd have to be right around $140. So still another 20 points of downside from here. So I think that for a lot of investors, it's less about where the price goes. It's just more about waiting this out. And who knows how the psychology is going to weigh on shares in the near term.
Gene, how do you think Detroit is looking at this number in terms of how they're thinking about the EV market?
Yeah.
I think they're elated. I think that they're saying this was a smart move that we've had by kind of pulling back on some of the investments. So I think from Detroit, this is today is a victory. And I don't like using war analogies in business, but this is a battle. It's a war going on between gas and electric here, and this is definitely a victory for gas. And I think that the bigger picture is far from over.
Price discipline here is so important. Are Tesla unit sales down because Lisa Mateo really wants to buy one, except the price has declined, which means all the used Teslas out there right now have cratered? That's got to be a huge part behaviorally of this, Gene Munster, right?
I think so. I think that the used market is showing some price declines. Maybe that's picking up a little bit. I think the broader macro, the two biggest forces in play here are the EVs are more expensive than traditional cars. Rates are high, and then separately, I think the excitement around EVs has slowed. I think those two are getting us to the numbers we're having.
And Paul, that's exactly what you said in the break. I mean, you said here the heart of the matter is EVs cost more.
Yeah, they certainly do. Gene, any sense that when Elon Musk and company, they're just rethinking any of their short to intermediate term strategy here?
I would be shocked. I think that they have a view about where the world is going, and they're playing towards that, and would say that this is a speed bump. And I think that if you just look at the numbers and look at the relative stock reaction, the stock should be down more.